सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करपावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Today is supposed to be Q&A session. Okay. Yes.
Concept of Adhyaropa Apavada, can it be converted into sadhana kriya also?
No. Adhyaropa Apavada is not done by the student, that is done by the master to teach you something. You cannot be doing it. What you are doing is Adhyasa, right? Not Adhyaropa Apavada. You are already lost. To the person who is already lost, how to teach him, how to educate him? Because what they are trying to communicate is not available for your intelligence. All the means that you are familiar with, you cannot engage to gain the knowledge. Now, how to teach that? Only then this Adhyara Bhavavada comes. You introduce and delete. See, that is not done by the student, that is done by the Shastra. Now you are supposed to understand that and do something else.
Okay, yeah, as an extension to that question. Now we have the instructions. Play your role in Vedanta cities and also Christian law. Play your role, is it not akin to Adhyaropa?
No. Here role is taught to you as a person. That's an instruction given to you, not teaching. Where your role is instruction, not teaching. Teaching is different. Adhyaropa is teaching. Where your role is instruction. What are you supposed to do? See, do your duty. Is instruction given to whom? Hmm? To whom that is given?
To Jiva,
Not to everyone.
to the evolved Jiva.
Not to the evolved. It is yet to evolve the jiva. Not to the evolved person. Evolved person doesn't require all these things. He will give you advice. He doesn't require advice. He requires teaching. Lokesmin divida nishta pura prokta mayana. Jnana yogena sankyanam karma yogena yogina. Karma yoga is given to whom? Yogis. Extroverted beings. To an extroverted person, instruction is given. To an introverted person, teaching is given. Play your role. Is it instruction or teaching? That's an instruction. It's an advice. Advice is given to whom? To an extroverted person, advice is given. See, You have to gain this knowledge, jnanam. To perform action to it, you need jnanam. Of course, you need jnanam. Without knowledge, how do you do action? So you have to gain knowledge. Which means, then what is the difference between jnana yoga and jnanam here? You follow what I'm saying? Karma yoga you have to do. What is karma? You don't even know what is karma. You have to gain knowledge now. That's why you come to class. Right? You attend the class. From the class, you gain knowledge. Is this, can you call this as jnana yoga? Jnana yoga also what you do, sir? Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasana. What are you doing here? Shravanam. So therefore, you are the first step of jnana yoga. No. You are not in the first step of jnana yoga. Why? Why? I know you. That's why. What is your agenda? Jnana yoga is not to perfect action. Jnana yoga is to transcend action. You see, you're not coming here and listening to the lecture so that you will transcend action. No, you are coming here to learn how to do your action properly, with the right understanding, with the right attitude, right action, right way, the right time. This is the knowledge that you are gaining here. So this knowledge, even though Krishna in the third chapter, in the second chapter, he introduces Karma Yoga and he titles it as Buddhi Yoga. Content ella Karma Yoga. Title it Buddhi Yoga. What is Buddhi is used for Jnanam, no? Now why he is calling this as Buddhi Yoga? Is first what you have to learn, first you have to learn to do actions properly. Right action, the right understanding, for a right purpose, with the right attitude. With all this, when you do, for that you have to gain some knowledge. That is the knowledge if you are gaining, that cannot be called as Jnana Yoga. Then what can be called as Jnana Yoga? I want to transcend the action. With that agenda, if you have packed your things and come to this class today, then the same class becomes Jnana Yoga. Otherwise, it is Karma Yoga only. Why? Other extrovert, introvert. You see, who is an extroverted person, who is an introverted person? Extroverted person is one who is still focusing on action. Introverted person focuses on something which is beyond action. Beyond action means beyond all expressions. You see, beyond all that you do. I want to transcend action. Transcend action, immediately you have to go, oh, that's exactly what I also was doing earlier, sir. What? Not doing anything. You see, not tragedy. Wrong understanding of action. So, Adhyaropa Apavada is introverted. That's why we say that's a teaching, Jnana Yoga. That's a path of Jnanam. In that path of Jnanam, in explaining, one of the methodology adopted by these Shastras is this stream of thought. Or they consciously Superimpose as it were, exactly like you agree to the boy who says there is a snake. Abhiya, is there a snake? Yes. Nothing happened to you, no. Nothing happened. I escaped. Okay, come, let's go and check. So when you are going, you will also carry what?
Again,
A stick with you. Exactly. You carry a stick with you, knowing fully well what?
so
There's no snake only. So you're mad to carry a stick then. But along with the stick, you are carrying what? A torchlight. With the light, let's see. Then what happens to the stick? Redundant. That's adhyaropa apavada. Delete. Introduced, deleted. Knowing fully well, there is no snake. Then why are you carrying a stick? Not for your safety. That is where that boy gains the confidence and comes back to investigate. See, if you are not, if you say that I'm going to take only the light without a stick, if you say I will also come with you, come, let's go, he will not come. So what do? You carry stick. Krishna shows, no? On one hand, he is carrying a cane. Another hand, Jnana Mudra. That Gita Dhyanam. He says, no. On one hand, he is carrying a stick. Another hand is showing Jnana Mudra. Adhyaropa apavada. First thing you do, you have to take that stick with you. If you don't carry a stick, you will not know. So what the masters do, they agree with your experience first. What? I'm experiencing samsara. I'm experiencing problem. I'm experiencing world. They say, yes. Who created this world? God created the world. Knowing fully well what? There's no creation only. There's only Brahman. There's no creation. Now, once you see creation, after that I cannot come and tell you there's no creation. To that person to say there's no creation has no meaning. He will think something wrong with the teacher. Lose here. Sometimes you have to talk weird so that you will become very popular. You want to become very popular, no? Talk all nonsense. In Kali Yuga, it will work. In other Yugas, now it won't work. In Kali Yuga, it will work. Adhyaropa apavada is part of Jnana Yoga. And path of Jnana Yoga is for whom? Adhikari. Potentially all human beings, all jivas are capable of, but is he today? He is not. Therefore, we have to check the adhikaritvam of a person. As I said, class is not based on Vedanta. Why? Because in the class, I don't check your adhikaritvam. If I look into your adhikaritvam, you look into my adhikaritvam. Therefore, both of us come to an agreement. What? I don't check your adhikaritvam. You also don't check my adhikaritvam to be a teacher. Then let's start. Sahana bhavatu. That's not Vedanta. That's why I keep telling you, please understand, the class is not to be treated as Jnana Yoga. The class is preparation for Jnana Yoga. Class is not Jnana Yoga. Hey. Lowest point you can come to is what? You're slightly better. Lowest point is what?
Brahmaniyama.
Huh?
Brahmaniyama.
Who knows? YouTube.
YouTube.
Online. Is it online? Irga? How many are there? All 8. 8 number. Shani Bhagwan's position? Huh? 9 are there. 8 illa? Shani Dasar. 8. Ella Shani. What? You listen to YouTube, you keep listening, and you believe what? You are gaining knowledge. That is not. Okay, now I come to class. Even then, what is it? Even if you come and sit physically also, this is not Jnana Yoga. Then what are we doing here? Does it mean it has no meaning? Does it mean it is useless? No. You should understand the scope of this. A scope, that's the first thing you learn when you go to any subject. What is the scope of this subject? So wherever you go, you should understand the scope. What this can do. In the text, we were doing the 13th chapter. Therefore, I have to explain this. Doesn't mean all of you have become qualified. Therefore, I am teaching. It is not out of your qualification. Text is there. Therefore, my job is to explain. I explain. To the best of my ability, I try to confuse. You confuse. Oh. Jnana Yoga is for the people who are introverts. Who is an introvert? Don't say less desires means introvert. It is not less desire, is not introversion. Of course, that's one of the meanings. What it means is the one who is focused on transcending action. You are yet to start action. Right now, what type of action you are doing now? All your actions are driven by desires, likes and dislikes. Ego and egocentric desires is what is driving your action. Now, to that person, how can you talk about transcendence of action? So, therefore, what needs to be taught first? Execution of right action. What is right action? Obligation. Obligatory actions alone is treated as action. See, karma is a technical word as far as philosophy is concerned. Action. You will see in the lectures. You explain. Gahana karmano gatihi. Idea of action, Arjuna, is impenetrable. You can't just penetrate and understand. You can't just understand. Your problem is what? We are all acting here, only you are confused about action. We are not confused. You are all doing action. I am so busy, sir. No time actually, Hey, some yajna work is there. Can you? I don't have time for all these things. I am so busy. You are performing action, no? Can you call that as action? You can call that as action, but this Shastra will not call that as action. Shastra will call that as inaction. But you are so busy. Like all the knowledge that you gain in the world, Vedanta will call that as what? Ignorance. Knowledge of the dream equals You are having a tremendous knowledge of the dream. Means what?
So,
You are totally ignorant of the waking. That's the meaning of it. La- huh? Knowledge of more and more knowledge of the dream equals more and more ignorance of you of waking. You are having very good knowledge of the world. That means what?
ignorance of
You are ignorant of the self. You are ignorant about yourself. You are ignorant about the reality. You are ignorant about God. That's the meaning. So, to a person who says that I want to gain that knowledge of God with preparation, after preparation, all these things. I said 13th chapter is, I said 13th chapter is Upanishad. Arjuna was not in the Upanishadic state, remember that. Don't think, oh, Arjuna also was in the Upanishad. No, no, no. The text, he lifts to that height because of the concept, idea. Adhyaropa is different. Do your duty. Then you have to ask the question, what is my duty? I'm already playing my role. No, I'm already doing my duty. Now, on top of that, you are coming and telling me, do your duty. See, to the one who is not doing the duty is where you can go and give advice. Do your duty. Sir, I'm already doing my duty. Is what you believe. That's why we say you need some basic knowledge. Providing that basic knowledge is what the scope of the class. This itself is Tadinganatvam. There is a chance of, Upanishad. You get an idea, that's about it. So what you do with these sort of ideas, na? Read those things, listen to those things, understand. Wow, very nice, sir. And then forget it. Adhyaropa, apavadala, what you are supposed to do. Wow. Oh, there's a thing called Adhyaropa. Nice, nice, very interesting. Eh? And then what you do? Get on to your work. What is that now? Play your role. Do your duty. So, do your duty is instruction given to an extroverted person. Adhyaropa apavada is taught to someone who is introvert. You get it?
Actually, the ladder of Ashtanga Yoga, where is this concept of Adhyaropa that can come in?
In Ashtanga Yoga, Adhyaropa apavada is not there. This will not come.
In the Dharana, Dhyana, no.
It doesn't come there because that's totally different path. It's like you're asking, sir, in the route when I take Udyan Express to go to Bombay, will I get Hubli? Which day after a station Hubli will come in Udyan? You will not get. But Udyan also takes you to Bombay. Udyan also takes you to Bombay. But what is the other one that Kurla from Yeshwanthpur starts, no? Through Arsikere it goes. Arsikere, Hubli, that goes Pune, Bombay. Now you're asking me, but then why is it that another fellow comes and says, I'm going to integrate Udyan and this and make a chivda of that. You want to travel, you want to go to Hubli, then don't get into Udyan Express. Having got into Udyan Express, don't ask me why Hubli is not coming. It will not come. It's simple. No? Jnana Yoga is karma, bhakti, jnanam is different. Ashtanga Yoga is different. Ashtanga Yoga is for whom? Ashtanga Yoga is for whom?
For the extrovert.
You are not even extroverted. You are tamasic. Ashtanga Yoga is for whom? When you are so tamasic and lazy, your mind is refusing to move. You see, it needs a force. You are not tricking the mind. You are not training the mind. You are not transcending the mind. That's the difference. Ashtanga Yoga, tricking. You trick the mind. Karma Yoga, you train the mind. Jnana Yoga, transcendence of mind. By trick, you can do. You can freeze the mind through certain tricks. They have unearthed it. They have found it. They knew how to fool the mind, how to deceive the brain. They say no. Your brain can be easily deceived. It's very easy. You just have to little bit of changes you do, it gets tricked. How to stop thoughts? There's a methodology. A person who is refusing to do anything, because what is the problem with the mind is this: more and more you promote the mind, more and more you follow your desires. What happens? More and more you say yes to mind, more and more you yield to mind. You believe that by saying yes, I'm going to win the cooperation of the mind. Mind will not cooperate. Mind will start dominating. See, those who have been feeding their mind, feeding their likes and dislikes, with the belief that I say yes, I say yes, I say yes, I say yes to the mind. That's the intellect. What is intellect? How do you know you have intellect? We say you don't have intellect. How do we say you don't have intellect? What a sweeping statement. What is the confidence with which he says, nobody in the world has intellect? No. What do you mean nobody has intellect? Oh, that means only you have intellect. Huh? That's how we feel. But that is why we say you need to understand what is it. What is intellect? Intellect is what? Intellect is that which gains awareness. But that's only one part of intellect. You see, another part of the intellect is after awareness, your intellect should have the capacity to say no to the demands of the mind. Can you say no to your mind? You will also say no to your mind. Where? In the areas of your least attachment. Where you are not having attachment, you can say no. Where you are not having a strong desire, you can say no. But in the area where you have a desire, where you have your likes and dislikes, Can you say no? You don't like a person. You hate that person. And you have nothing to gain from that person also. He is calling you for his wedding. Will you go? You will hate a person, but still you will go for his wedding. Why? Contract, sir. Tender. That fellow is the one who has to sanction the tender. What to do? Hate that fellow. Any one of you like to go to government office? Huh? Okay, police station. Hey, just you have to go and leave that information and come. We don't enter into police stations. You don't want to know. But still you go. Why you go? For something else you go. Not because of the moment you have a strong like, when you have a strong dislike, can you say no to your dislike and do something? That's called doing your duty. You see, when he says do your duty, why that has to be given as a specific instruction? Because the one who has a strong attachment, likes and dislikes, desires, his attachments, his desires, and his likes and dislikes will not allow him to do his duties, because his duties will not be in alignment with his likes and dislikes. So long as your duties were in alignment with your likes and dislikes, you will continue. There's no problem. So long as it is in alignment, so long as it is paying, so long as it is giving the desired result, you will continue. That is not doing your duty, please. I'm doing my duty. You're doing your duty. Why? Because the result is palatable to you. If the result is not palatable to you, what will you do? So what is your intellect supposed to be doing? Intellect is one which is aware of this, but that awareness is of no use. In fact, it starts creating a split in you. It will start creating a guilt in you. You remember, Swamiji always quotes one of the best letters he has ever received. I was the happiest man till I met you. He says, super. I was the happiest man till I met you. What is he saying? I've got that awareness, but the problem is what? My mind is not, I am not having the capacity to say no to my mind. Not easy. So we say, you need that intellectual strength for you to do your duties. When you want to train your mind. To trick your mind, you don't require all this knowledge. Intellect is not required. You see, to trick the mind, you don't require intellect. In fact, it is better not to have intellect. To trick it. That's what the training of yoga is. And that is why today yoga has become very popular. Right? Tricking. We want just tricks, no, that's all it is. One government says, I will give free 5,000 rupees. I don't know, 5,000 has not come yet. Next election it will come. Don't worry. Make a note. Minimum one party will say next election. One party will definitely say, if I come to power, I will give 5,000 rupees. First they said what? 1,000 rupees. Another fellow said what? 1,500. Another fellow said what? I'll give 2,000. Now that fellow says what? 2,500. Electricity free. Every farmer, absurd, 96 election, Tamil Nadu. I'm not talking politics. I'm talking about what is written there, what they have announced. Every farmer will get 2 acres of land. Entire Tamil Nadu you divide also as 2 acre, 2 acre, 2 acre, 2 acre, 2 acre. Still, you will get only half the population. Another half will be standing outside. 2 acre land I will give. And the fellow won. Tricking. We prefer to get tricked. Because trick doesn't require much of effort from your side. You just have to do a little adjustment. Minimal effort. That's why yoga has become very popular. Meditation is much more popular. At least yoga, you have to put little effort. Meditation, that is also not required. At least in olden days, when they said meditate, they said you have to sit. Now they said, no, sitting all are not required. There's a meditation going on, wine meditation. Drinking wine. You should tell that to Patanjali. 1,000 heads, he'll be hitting himself. Patanjali. He had 1,000 heads. Adishesha is a avatar of Adishesha. So 1,000 heads. In Chidambaram is where he taught. He had a school, university. Then Adishesha is speaking, now how you will listen to? He opens his mouth, what will come? Adishesha, Terima? Adishesha. What is that? Snake. The biggest snake. And if that fellow opens his mouth, poison only will come. Which student will come and sit? One breath. Out. Whole group gone, Where you will have any student? So, Patanjali was not getting any student. Right, Adishesha. And he wanted to teach. What to do? He found a method. He said, look here, I'll put a screen. Okay. I'll put a screen and I will sit this side of the screen and teach. All you fellows sit the other side. Two conditions he had put. Condition number 1. No one should leave the class. If you leave the class halfway through, your head will burst into. Oh, sir. Nalla idea actually. No, not really. You should tell this. Make a note. Head will burst into 1,000 pieces. First condition. Second condition he gave was, if anyone comes and opens the screen and checks it, finished. Then also will die. I don't know what to do. Right? He's teaching like that. Patanjali, Chidambaram. That's where this, Gaudapada, Gaudapada was his student. Patanjali student, Gaudapada. Dumb person he was. Dumb fellow he is. No, not Gaudapada. Go in the Bhagavad Path. Was his student. After that, he comes to Gaudapada and learns. Gaudapada's story is another story, other fascinating one. this fellow, these guys, this fellow sitting this side and teaching. And all these guys are hearing the audio, no video. How long you can listen to audio? YouTube. La. Only audio, YouTube, how can you listen? We wanted to have one video there. La. So, what happened was, one fellow just opened the screen to check who is that guy teaching like that, because no one had seen his face. So they wanted to know who is that, out of devotion. Tomorrow if I see him on the street, you should do prostration to him. If I don't even know who is the teacher, so that fellow got so curious. One curious fellow came and opened the screen. All 1,000 students of his is dead. And Patanjali got so upset. Yet from the ashes, one fellow came out. Said, "Hey, how you survived?" Said, "Listen, I couldn't control myself, it's too much." So he was about to just move outside. You see, he is just in the, near the door, that fellow. Slowly I was moving back. Straight away can't get up and walk out, So slowly he was adjusting and moving back. He was about to step out. So half is stepped out. Right? That's why he got saved. Meanwhile, this fellow opened. The whole thing burnt. That fellow got saved. He said, knowledge is not complete. Half knowledge. Patanjali said, all my zeal is gone now. Now I can't teach. And you have flouted my instruction. So you suffer Brahmahati dosha. The fellow said, what? What Brahmahati I had? I have to suffer now. He said, yeah, suffer. There what you do? Go to north. On the way, you will meet your guru. Don't worry. That's how he met Gaudapada. From Gaudapada, he gained that knowledge of Advaita and he became a great sage. And he became the guru of Shankaracharya. Shankara. Fascinating story. Patanjali. Patanjali story is good. I don't know for what I started Patanjali story. Ashtanga Yoga. If you go and tell Patanjali, that they are practicing your yoga with wine bottle. Wine bottle or glass? I don't know. I have to check. With wine or without wine? You see. Wine glass. All this yogic system is tricking the mind, remember. That's not training. You are tricking it. And the mind will definitely get tricked. That's very easy. Tricking the mind is not so difficult. It's very easy. You can trick that. That doesn't mean your mind is a trained one. You don't get the training. Training comes only when you do this karma yoga. Karma. After having a well-disciplined mind, a cooperative mind, such a mind alone can be transcendent. So trained mind alone can be transcendent. Untrained mind cannot be transcendent. And you think tricking is equal to transcendence, not training. Tricking is taken as transcendence. That's tragedy. So beware. Ashtanga Yoga is not, that doesn't mean the system is faulty. I'm not talking about the system. I say what the system will do, how it works. The system works for a particular thing. You see? Vastu, what we are talking today as Vastu, this Vedic Vastu is not for house. You know that. Vedic astrology and Vastu Shastra and all these things is not for designing your house. Those things were designed, developed for building Yajnashala. Today you don't do Yajnashala. Where is Yajnashala today? Now what are you doing with Vastu now? You're thinking my business is going to grow by Vastu. How? Vastu is not designed for that. No. Astrology. I check the horoscope. For what you check your horoscope? Marriage, we are checking the horoscope of a person. Horoscope was not developed for you to see whether this marriage will work with this person, with that person. It's not. That's not designed for that. It's designed for something else. It's exactly like microwave oven it's not designed for making papadam. You roast appalam. You can use it also. Is it wrong to use it? But microwave is not designed for, roasting your appalam. It's not that design. It's designed for something else. But you are using it for something else, totally unconnected. Along with other things, you use the microwave for roasting appalam. It's okay. Papad. It's okay. Imagine a person says, I am buying a microwave oven so that I am going to roast papad. Cocoon case. It's a paityam. You do not buy microwave for, if somebody gives you, it's okay. Nobody say, I have what to do. Gives. That's okay. But the purpose is not that. Same way, Ashtanga Yoga is designed for what purpose? To whom? That's why I say Ashtanga Yoga, check it out. Who was practicing Ashtanga Yoga about 100 years back? 100 years back, how many people were practicing Ashtanga Yoga? And Ashtanga Yoga had been in this country for how many years? Huh? Minimum 2,500 years. In fact, if you say Patanjali, if you say these things, Bhagavad Gita is 5,000 years old, it is appearing, the references of Ashtanga Yoga is there in the Gita, which means it must be much before that. At least 6,000 years. 6,000 years one system has existed in a country, survived. It's not that it was there 6,000 years before and then lost it suddenly. Now these people have unearthed it. It's not like that. It's not like, how they unearthed this Mohenjo-daro. You know that, no? Mohenjo-daro, how they got it? Accidentally they found. They were not excavating for the purpose of finding out Mohenjo-daro. They are excavating to put a railroad. They wanted to make a railway. For that they started digging. Suddenly they found something which is funny there. How come something like this here? Little more. When they start digging, oh my God, something is very sophisticated constructions and bricks. These are all impossible to be here. That is not the way these people found out Ashtanga Yoga. It was in practice, but it was never brought to the public. Why? Hmm? Nayanmars and Alvars. Any Nayanmar or Alvars had recommended people to do meditation, recommended people to do yoga. No. So many acharyas were there, no? Great rishis, great mahatmas, great sages, spiritual giants all over India. Show me one spiritual giant who is like, when I say Tyagaraja, immediately your thought will go to whom? Tyagaraja, you go for advice. If he were to teach, what would be his advice? Huh? Rama.
Yeah.
That's all. Nothing else. Isn't it? Tulsidas, if you go, will say Rama. Mirabai, if you go, she will not say Rama. She will say Krishna. That is Surdas. Mirabai, Balakrishna, she will not. She needs a young Krishna, youth. Each one says what? Like that, you tell me one person. I'll change my stance. One spiritual giant we had in this country 100 years before. Vivekananda spoke on Raja Yoga. He delivered lectures on Raja Yoga. Right? But when he found Ramakrishna Mission, what is the motto he kept? What is that? Arise, awake. Uttishta, Jagrata. Upanishad. He did not say these things. Do this asana, that asana, and all those things. He did not. It's all just last about 100 years. Why? Because people did not want to put in that much of effort to train. So they needed quick fix, which is the quickest, easiest way to get it, sir. Get the result. Instantly, I want to get the result. How you will get it? Training will not get. Tricking will get. That is why yoga and meditation has become so popular in the world today. It's not that it is a superior system or inferior system, please. I'm not saying it's superior or inferior. Why we are taking the Ashtanga Yoga today? Yoga. All that I have to do is do this, do that. The very fact that it has survived so many years is a proof that people have been practicing it. And those who are practicing it were the one who should have recommended to the others also, made it popular. Whereas all other systems got popularized now. So what are you trying to say? So what we are trying to say is, sir, for the last 6,000 years, you know what happened, Ishwaran? 6,000 years people practiced, but all of them kept it to themselves. 6,000 years people practiced and gained the benefit of it, but none of them wanted to make it to the world. That's what you're saying? That's what the fellow wrote, no? The book, The Secret. Einstein knew it. Christ knew it. So, they did not teach, I am teaching. Understood? They did not tell you, I am telling you. manifest. Tricking, you see, it will not. But in and through the process, sometimes you need to trick the mind. Ingenious fellows. That is why if you do the rituals, right, in the rituals, suddenly they will say, do pranayama in between. Suddenly, they'll stop. Now do pranayama and then continue. For what? Why suddenly pranayama gets introduced halfway through? Because they know what will happen to the mind. It will get lost. It will get involved in the ritual, or there is a possibility of the mind is started wandering everywhere. So that wandering involved mind to put back on the track, what you should do. In the training process, you can introduce this tricking once in a while. For that, they used it. That is why in every ritual you will find, they will say, do pranayama now. For what? It's absolutely redundant. If you see the sequence of the rituals, without that pranayama also, you can continue the ritual. Nothing is going to change. But then why that is kept? And they give the numbers also every time. Now you do 3 times pranayama. Now you do 10 times pranayama. Now you do only 1 pranayama. 1 time you do, 3 times you do, 10 times you do. For what? When the training is going on, the mind should be there. But the tendency of the mind is what? Asthira, chanchala. Since the mind has the tendency of asthira, chanchala, and there's one more tendency, very interesting one. Chapala, they say. Sapalam. That's what I said. Oh, you'd like to have coffee? No. Have no. Okay. Enna? Chapalam. That's the meaning of Chapala Buddhi. See? Buddhi. The Chapalam is not mind's category, it's actually Buddhi. Buddhi has that. Now you know Buddhi has only 2, gross intellect, subtle intellect. It's a functionality. But behavioral pattern of Buddhi Patana, there is very different Buddhis are there. There's one of the very important type of Buddhi called as Vakra Buddhi. Vakra means, bent. Vakram, bent. Vakra Buddhi, Chapala Buddhi, these are all there. The mind has a tendency to oscillate. So that oscillating mind to bring back when you are in the training. See, we are not talking about when you are lost in the world. When you are coming into the rituals, in the ritual, why you are doing those rituals, why you are performing this karma is to gain the training, train the mind. But in the training, mind slips. What you do now? You can't say train. Arey, I have come here performing karma to train my mind. But my mind slips. What to do? My agenda is not to train the mind. My agenda is to transcend the mind. But the transcendence of the mind is not possible unless I train the mind. And the training of the mind cannot happen overnight. It takes long effort. So during that effort, mind has because it is untrained mind. Only untrained mind is coming for the training. So that untrained mind is there, means it will obviously oscillate, slip. There what to do? That is where this yoga system came into picture. You see? Now today what we have started doing? No clue of training. Straight away you do what? Tricking. You trick the mind. Mind is very easy to be tricked, not a difficulty. It is. I'm not giving examples. I'm refraining from it. Containing myself. A lot of self-control I'm exercising. How each facet of it is there. That is why today nobody goes through this process of yama, niyama, and then asana. Ashtanga Yoga, even if you say, there his first step is what? Yama, niyama. After that only you should be taught asanas. After that only you should be taught pranayama. Now you go to all yoga schools. No yoga school asks you to do yama, niyama. They say, our job is what? We'll teach you asanas. Bend your body like this, bend your body like that. That's very good. That's good to have. Good to have a fit body. That is fine. But fit body is not equal to fit mind, please. Trained mind. Mind is independent. Now, there's a very wrong belief we have. Fit body is equal to fit mind. Fit body cannot be fit mind. Fit mind means what? You stay. Move. Don't think. I am not going to think. Your mind should listen to you and say not think. But today what is happening to your mind? You say no, only then it thinks more. And where you want your mind to think, it doesn't think. As a challenge I give. In fact, it's not my challenge. He gave me the challenge. We were discussing about self-effort and all that. You think you have so much of self-effort? I said, yes. Effort, no, Swamiji. No effort. Okay. From now till karma time, keep doing anything. And you have to remember that you are Brahman. One and a half hours. 1.5 hours, you have to remember that you are Brahman. Do whatever you want. You do karma, you don't do karma. Simply sit and think only Brahman, I am 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 Brahman. That's all it is. Just a challenge. Forget about that's true, false, right, wrong. Doesn't matter. Let it be false also. That's not truth. You are not Brahman. Okay. The challenge is think, no? Will your mind stay? A trained mind means what? A trained dog means what? He should sit. He's about to pounce. One snap, what he should do? He should sit. That is trained dog. Come no. That fellow keeps going that side. That means what? Dog is training you, not. You are a trained person. Who is training whom now? Trained mind. When you are in the effort of training, mind will slip. At that time, use these things, trick the mind, bring it back, so that you can continue the training. What are you doing? Indulging in the world, and you are not able to indulge beyond a point. Why? Mind is sleeping. So what you are doing? Do pranayama, bring the mind back so that you can indulge more. Abusing the system. So don't think system is faulty. System is not faulty. System is not wrong. Rituals are not mechanical. They are not superstitious. You see, it is the performer who makes it mechanical. You are mechanical. The karta is mechanical. not karma. But we keep saying what? Mechanical rituals. Rituals are not mechanical plays. The performer of the rituals have become mechanical. See, your belief system is not superstitious. You have made it superstitious. Belief is not, faith is not. You have become fanatic with ideas. Idea is not making you fanatic. Fanaticism lies in you, not in the system. So the system needs to be understood clearly. Ashtanga Yoga. Beware of it. Why that is introduced? To whom that is introduced? The scope of it. Hmm?
So when we say obligated, it's based on my ignorance or lack of understanding. I, as an individual, will continue what as we are discussing as per my likes and dislikes. So how does one discern and
That's where you need basic knowledge. The fundamental knowledge is needed. What is it? That's where the knowledge will come and teach you on what basis you are deciding this is your obligation. On what grounds? How you have arrived at saying this is my duty. Hmm? This is your duty. What is your duty? You have to do. What you have to do, how you have to do. How you say that. Duty is decided based on what is the goal you have in life. You have desires. You don't have a goal. All that you are calling as goal is what? I want to achieve this. I want to achieve this. I want to achieve that. I want to do this. I want to do that. All the goals, whatever you're talking about, is nothing but desires defined. The other person who is not having a goal, he says what? I have desires, but I have not chosen which desire I'm going to pursue. That's a normal person. You are a person, you have a goal. Means what? You also have desires. Amongst the desires, I have chosen a desire. And that desire is a productive desire. Right? And that desire is socially acceptable desire. Then you call that as goal. But nevertheless, what you are failing to realize is still what is it? It is desire only. I am taking care of my family. You are proving you are an animal. That's all it is. That's what animals do, no? Correct? Animals also protect what? Not babies. Animals don't protect their babies. Animal protect their feeds. You've seen? They protect their feed. A tiger attacks, kills. When the tiger is eating its prey, another tiger comes. What happens? This tiger is not going to say, okay, man, let's share. No. It will protect. Same way, you are protecting your things. What are you? What is needed for its survival, it is protecting. Whatever you believe is required for your survival, you are protecting. Therefore, what are you? That's why Vedanta never says, very interesting. Science says humans are highly evolved. Vedanta never says that. You know that? Vedanta only says humans are unique. Vedanta doesn't say humans are superior. There's no superiority. Because every species is unique by itself. Yeah. Every species is unique. Similarly, there is something which is unique about human being also. What is unique for human being? What is unique for human being? அதுவே தெரியல சார். You've been living for the last 50, 60 years, you have lived. You don't even know what is unique with you. So suddenly, when I say that in the introduction class, we say this. People come and say, correct, sir. I never realized. Animals also protecting. I am also protecting. Animals also take care of their family. I am also taking care of their family. Animals also train their offsprings. I also train my offspring. In fact, animals do it on their own. Here we need support of others also. We are lower than animal actually speaking. In that, what is unique about human? Only human have the capacity to do sacrificial action. You see, sacrificial action. Actions of service. Act of sacrifice is possible only for humans. No other creature is capable of that. Anena prasha vishwadvam yesha votsishta kamaduk, says the Gita. This is the Kamaduk. Let this be your milch cow, man, to get all this. How? When human beings were created along with yajna, along with the capacity to sacrifice. That sacrificial dimension is not brought in. You are only pursuing your convenience. You are only pursuing something which is giving you a hope of getting something. That's not goal. Remember, a goal is not to be treated like your management ideas. Management ideas are this is management idea. Have specific goal. Means what? From where you pick that specific one? Amongst your desires, you pick. Which one you should pick? The most productive one. Highest one they'll come to is what? When you're picking something which is most productive, ensure that it is not antisocial. I have a goal, sir, my life. What is it? At least before I die, at least I should have burgled 5 banks. I am goal. Right. At least I should have murdered, 10. At least once you should be a serial killer, no? In life. You should explore everything, sir, in life. You should know everything. What it is to be a serial killer. You can't keep those things as goals. Why? Your goals are defined based on your desires, based on that which is productive, paying. Also, it should be socially agreeable. Is that a goal? That's not a goal, remember. That is just a defined desire. Then what is a goal? In pursuit of something, you keep the reference point of sacrifice. That's a goal. Without the reference point of a sacrifice, if you do, it can never be a goal. It will be just your pursuit of your desires. That's all it is. What's the point? Nothing will happen. Of course, you will also be one more person, but you will not be establishing yourself as a human being. Isavasya Upanishad says, do karma and live 100 years. What karma, I will not explain. Why? Because for him, karma means what? Sacrificial action. Selfless action only is treated as action. Selfish, unselfish, they don't even consider. That's called as activity. You're moving. Your body is moving. You're not dead. You're alive. It's a proof that you are alive. You're not dead yet. That's all it is. That doesn't mean you're doing action, karma. Karma should have a goal. What's a goal? In your pursuits, consciously you introduce the idea of sacrifice. Serve. When you introduce the idea of service and sacrifice, greater the sacrifice, higher the goal. That's what it means. Greater the sacrifice, higher the goal. Start sacrificing. You got to get the taste of it. Only when you get a taste, you will understand. How much ever you keep seeing me having, Tirunelveli Alva, what you will get? Nothing you will get. You see me enjoying Tirunelveli Alva. Oh, very tasty. Very tasty. Very tasty. Sweet wine, better. He is not from Tirunelveli, Udaipur. Better sweet. Hear that? Now, how much ever I eat that sweet, you will never get the taste. You will never know what is the taste of it. You will not get it. You have to get a taste of it. Again, the problem, you know what? Sacrificial actions were like modakas. Kuncho taste is there. Taste and if you lick it, will you understand what that modaka is? Modaka, you don't know. Huh? Modaka, if you take and lick it, what is the reply you will give? I ask you, hey, how is the taste here? What is the answer you will give? Taste. Or else at the best, if you are having a very good tongue, you will say little salty. But they said it's sweet. Why? A goal. A goal means it should have an element of sacrifice in it. What are you sacrificing? Are you sacrificing something? Then there is a goal. In the pursuit of my desire, I am sacrificing another desire. No, that's not sacrifice. You see, I am pursuing one desire. When I am pursuing a desire to earn money, I have to sacrifice my comfort of spending time with my family. This I have to drop. But in that pursuit, that doesn't mean I have a goal piece. So that's why we always say service should go along with sacrifice. It should be service coupled with sacrifice for something. Then that something becomes a goal. And all that you are doing becomes your obligation. So therefore, obligatory duties equals what? Equals sacrificial service action. So to do your obligations, you require that sacrificial attitude. Only then you can do your obligations. When you are not having that sacrificial attitude, you cannot perform your obligations, your duties. So to do your duties, what is needed, sir? You need the right attitude. And towards what you have to go for? Higher goal. Easiest way to understand higher goal is number of beneficiaries. Who is going to be the beneficiary of your action? That's all. They may get the benefit, they may not get the benefit. That is different. That is independent. Right? But you are willing to share. You see that? Wrong goal. See you next week. Huh?
Next week class.
Oh, next week class. Sorry, I'm sorry, I forgot. Yeah, following week. But anyway, next week we'll meet, but not here. Not in the morning, evening.